Melissa. Happy Monday. I haven't seen you in a while. It's been a minute. Kids were off for spring break and we were traveling and now we're back. And I have a fun little trick, actually 2 of them to share with you today. So not only am I going to show you how to sublimate on a wine tumbler, I am going to show you how to get multiple versions of your design out of one, okay? So what I have here, this is the designs that we are going to put on, well, I'm gonna pick one of them to put on the wine tumbler, okay? So there's actually 6 here. However, this is only one of these designs. So I'm gonna show you the original. Let me get to that. So this design is from the So Fancy Sublimation Tumbler bundle, which is ending today. So if you're interested, get it. But this design that we're using, it says Professional Overthinker. It's this design here, which I know it's probably challenging to see. However, what you can see is that it is just purple, okay? There's only one design. So what I did, it's actually, because it's been reversed, it's this one. However, when I brought that design into Silhouette Studio, I then used the image effects tool and literally just changed the hue and some of the contrast on multiple copies. And what that does is it gives me a whole bunch of different variations of that design. So now I can, you know, if I wanted to put a bunch of different ones in an Etsy shop or give a bunch to my girlfriends, but wanted them all to be a little bit different, there's a really fast and easy way to do this, okay? So that's what we did. So I made 6 different versions. You can make an infinite number however you want, literally just image effects, all right? That's all we did. All right, so then I printed to my sublimation printer, and this is what we have now, okay? So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna move my computer out of the way, but what we're gonna do now is we are going to sublimate onto this wine tumbler. So this is a little bit challenging. I'm actually gonna see if I can move everything forward a little bit. This is a little bit challenging because this shape mug is tapered, right? And while I have an 8-in-1 heat press that includes a 4-in-1 mug press, there's no like actual wine tumbler attachment. However, what the 8-in-1 heat press comes with, and so does the standalone 4-in-1. So the 8-in-1 comes with a 4-in-1. But you can also just purchase the 4-in-1 heat press, and it comes with the same attachments. And actually, just a tip: if you are looking for the 8-in-1, it's out of stock right now, but the 4-in-1s are in. So anyway, I linked to both. So what we have here is, this is one of the attachments that it comes with. Now this is actually for a tumbler, right? Like a latte type tumbler. However, it will also fit these wine tumblers. You want to use the bigger one. There's 2 different sizes that would come with it. One is the shorter one and one is the taller one. And you want to use the taller one because what you can do, and I'm going to show you how to change this attachment in a minute, you can put the larger side, the like bubbled out side of the tumbler in here, and that will give you, it will allow you to press, okay? Now, let's change this out because I want you to see how fast this warms up. So what we need to do for the 8-in-1 heat press, so this comes all separated. So the first thing that I'm gonna do, and this goes for the 4-in-1 too, is you need to change out the attachment. Oh boy. Okay, so you just need to unscrew these 4 little screws here. All right, so once you do that, whoops, you can slide out the attachment, all right? So it comes with the 2 straight mug attachments, and then it also comes with the latte attachments, all right? And if you get the 8-in-1, it comes with a hat press, and obviously the standard heat press, and then also the plate press, okay? All right, so then when you line it up, and then you're just going to put the screws back on, and this will attach it. Now, it might take, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes to warm up the heat press, but because this is so small, it's very, very fast. You'll see. My heat press is not even on right now, okay? So, I did that intentionally so that you guys could see how fast this goes. All right, so this is completely attached. Now, before I warm it up, what I'm gonna do is I want you to see how this works. So you would put your mug press in like this, your tumbler in like this, okay?
so obviously right now this is too tight. So I need to adjust the pressure on this so that it can close, okay? You don't want it like this, because if you have it like that, you won't get a firm pressure. We are only gonna press in this area up here. And what I figured out is it's like a 3 by 2 inch area, okay? So the design, if you want the design to be flat on there, about 3 by 2 is ideal, okay? So it's gonna be like this. So we need to keep, I need to keep reducing the pressure so that I can then close. I'm doing it the wrong way, you guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, see what happens when you're gone a week? So you do want to do this before you heat up. All right, and for these wine tumblers, which I got also from Swing Design, and the wine tumblers are in stock also, 365 for 75 seconds. Okay, it's almost completely, all right, so that's what we want. Actually, maybe even a little bit more. All right, now I'm gonna have to pull it this way. Now, my biggest piece of feedback on this 8-in-1 heat press had to do with this cord. It's so, it's short, it's a little too short for me. So, not to make offense to any short things, says the 5-foot girl here. However, you have to be really close. So this was one of the original versions, and in subsequent versions, they have actually extended this cord due to that feedback. So that's been really great. Okay, so now I'm gonna just use this control panel up here, and I need to set this for, I wrote a little cheat sheet down here so I wouldn't forget, because this has to do with the mug itself. So 365, and I just want you to see how fast this comes to temperature, and 75 seconds. Oh boy, you guys were here the last time when my timing, Bob just yelled at, 1:15. Okay, so we're already heating up, all right? So while that's heating up, I'm gonna cut these apart. Now, as I said, these are 6 different versions of the same design. If you're just joining, I added one design to Silhouette Studio. The single design is part of the Tumbler Sublimation bundle on So Fancy, and then all I did was use image effects, and it gave me 6 different, colors. All right, so actually, here's a couple versions that I did already. These were test ones. You can see blue, green, but we're gonna do one of these other ones, so I'm just gonna pick one. Now, when you're cutting your sublimation prints apart, you don't have to cut around the design. That's the great part, okay? You just have to, I'm just cutting it apart because it's one big piece. Now, when I'm doing it on a tumbler, I try to make it so that the entire piece will lay flat, okay? But I also need a little bit of space where I can put some high temperature tape and hold it taut, okay? So I'm just gonna hold it on there like this, and then I'm gonna tape one side at a time, all right? Now, if you're wondering, like, where did I get all these supplies? I linked, and I also, if you're brand new to sublimation, a couple weeks ago, I don't even know if it was in April, it might have been in late March, I put a new tab up on Silhouette School called Sublimation. So everything's now under Sublimation, but one thing that's on there is a supply list that if you're brand new to sublimation, it basically gives you the lowdown on what you need to get started with sublimation. This is already at 315 degrees. You see how fast that is? So when you're heating up the attachments, it's really quick. Okay, so we're doing this so that it's tight. I'm gonna try to come around so you can see. So I have it on there tight, there's no gaps, okay? This is the part that bubbles out, so remember, this is how we're gonna put it into the heat press. All right, I'll try to see if I can bring you guys a little bit closer maybe so you can see, okay? Also, as you can see, I did this with, even though this is a Tumbler bundle, sublimation bundle, you can use these designs on lots of different things. Coaster, I was just doing these as samples, but here is a luggage tag. These other items that I have right here were also done with the same bundle, okay? This is Sublimation. I got a little bit of a line there. I didn't print it large enough. Mug, again, this comes with it too. Matches that. These I did with printable vinyl. I still haven't epoxied, but I did do a separate Facebook Live on that. So I just printed that on my inkjet printer and then wrapped it around, and then we can epoxy. So even if you don't have a sublimation printer, or even if you don't have a mug press, you are still able to take advantage of this bundle. So grab it if you're interested. Okay, so we're at 358. We need to be at 365. Now remember, so this part where the design is going to go down, okay, because there's going to be a gap here. The large part of the tumbler, the booty, whatever you want to call it, what you want to call it. The bigger part is going to go on the wider part of the latte tumbler as well. Okay, so we're going to insert it this way, and then this part will be on the smaller side. All right, and that way it will close, and this will have complete coverage. Now, the reason that we didn't use the straight tumbler is because watch when I try to close here. There's a gap. Even if I hold it up here, you see there's this gap here. On the smaller latte, same thing. It's just the angle is not large enough to make it work. What you can't see is the part of the sublimation design is not fully down. So that's why I like to use the large latte for these wine tumblers. I'm sorry I'm not on camera, but I'm trying to do it so you guys can see this. All right, so we're gonna put this in here, okay? And then close this up, 365, okay? For 75 seconds, and hallelujah, my timer is working today, all right? Now, everyone, including my husband and my children, make fun of me for these gloves. However, you might want to get a pair of sublimation gloves because this is hot when it comes out of there, and you've got to get that sublimation transfer off pretty quickly. Okay, so if you want to be as cool as me and have some sublimation silicone protected gloves, here you go. These are from Amazon. They're just pink. They're covered in silicone dots. My daughter has that thing where she doesn't like a whole lot of little pieces together, which I can't really blame her, so she really doesn't like these gloves. But anyway, all right, so everything we talked about, the tumblers, everything you need for sublimation to get started, like I said, is in that link that I posted up top with the supply list. You can just click it and it'll link you directly to the items. Okay, so all right, so we're about 10 seconds out. I'm gonna pop this open, and then we will pull off the transfer, okay, that we taped on there. Okay, so see, this is very hot. It's important, it's still hot with these gloves. It's important that you look at the time and temperature for the specific blank that you are using, okay? So, there you go. So what I love about this is because you have a large enough spot that's flat, you can still fill that area. Now, if you want to do another one on the other side, I would do it separately because what you saw is there's a little bit of a gap here, so you're going to have to twist it anyway. So let this cool down, and then if you wanted to put another one on the other side, you can certainly do that. These tumblers come with the lid, okay? Sublimation is not going to wash off. There's no feel to it, there's no hand to it. And so it's a really good option. It's also a very good option for designs. I'm gonna pick up one of these other ones so that you can see. Sublimation is great for things that are like watercolor or have that like a feathered edge, where vinyl is not gonna cut really very nicely. You're not gonna be able to get, you know, those watercolor type looks. Other types of processes, whether that's printable vinyl or whatever, because it has to cut, you're not gonna get that real smooth feathered out edge. So this is where sublimation really shines, especially on hard goods, okay? All right, oh God, it's so hot. I have to wait.
All right, you guys, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Like I said, links to everything that we talked about are up top, and enjoy the rest of your week. See ya.